Hello. In this video I'm going to show you how I edit gaming videos with the program Movavi Video Editor 2023. I am using the program via Steam, which is the application that I use for gaming as well. But let's get into it. Before you're going to work with anything, you have to add the files. You just have to click Add Files. Okay. When you have added one video, I have usually two videos because I record facecam video by itself and I record the game by itself. So then I'm going to add the other one, but by adding one video it jumps over to this part in the menu instead, and you have to click back on File Import and then find and add the other file you want to work with. There we go. I have added both media files. And then the next step, I have made an entire document in Word where I have a step-by-step guideline for myself that I look at on my second screen over here, so I can see which thing I need to do next. Step 1, import facecam video and gaming video into the editing software. And then step 2, create an extra video track. So that is done here. Then there's a track for each video. And then step 3, drag gaming video down on the lower track. Yes, then we do that. And drag the facecam video down on the upper track. And then we do that. And then, as you can see, the program starts working. It is optimizing the HD clips, so it's ready to work with more smoothly. It is smoother to work with this program if you just let it do whatever it needs to do to optimize the video clips before you start editing. Now it's just a question of waiting for this optimization process to be completed. Okay, so when the program is done optimizing the video clips, it's time to work with this project. And I find that you can hear when the computer is done optimizing because it requires something of it to run this. It took a bit longer to optimize the video clips today because I'm also screen recording, so it affects my computer a bit, but now that the program is done optimizing, the videos are smoother and more, they are smoother to work with, and the program is more responsive. So when you drag the slider or click around and make edits, it's more instantaneous instead of lagging. And then I don't think that it's my computer that's too slow. It should be quite hardcore, but yes. Let's get to the next step of this process of video editing. But as you can see, I am wearing the same shirt as I am in the video, and it's because I am editing this video later the same day after I recorded it. It's evening now and I recorded it this afternoon, but while it's fresh in my mind, I can more easily remember what I need to do. And I know I took a break toward the end, and you can actually see it if you look closely that there's a still image of just my chair. So I leave and then sometimes my breaks are so short that it won't show up on the timeline or as a still image like that. So I have to find spots like that, but that will be later. As you can see, this image, the top video takes up the entire screen, so we will have to work with that. Step 5 is a temporary split screen. So what you do is, or what I do is here, and then position. I like to have that on the right and this on the left. Then I have both video clips side by side. And that is because I have to align both the videos so that they're in sync. I find that it's easier for me to hit record on one thing and then the other, and then just let it record all the way until I'm done, so I don't need to align the two videos several times. Step 6 is to align the videos so that they're in sync, and for that I zoom in. And I can see here when I start talking that there's something, small lines on the bottom of the blue part of the video. And I have to move that a bit ahead, because the screen has to flash on my face before I know, yes, now it's ready, and I can press continue in a moment, or in that video when I record my gaming session. And then I can see here, hello and welcome back. Hello. My screen is dark, or my face is dark, and then it gets lighter. Okay, so I have to, it's around here. And then I find the spot where it goes from not being lighter into getting a bit lighter, if that makes sense. There it starts getting lighter, so here. And then I put a marker. Face is dark, and then I usually go 10 frames ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. And then again I put a marker. Face is lit. And then for the gaming video, it's there. Here. Game is black. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And again, game is lit. Then I have the markers. Then I didn't move the face cam video far enough to the right, so I'm gonna do that. But in order to see it properly, I have to zoom in. It's better if the face cam video is slightly more to the right or after what happens in the game than before, because I'm not reacting to something before it happens. It's hard. I would like to be able to film the game and the face cam at once, so I don't have to do this and line them up and then find the spot where I need to cut the beginning of the videos. But here we go. Then I check. Zoom in a bit. It looks like there's a light starting to get on my face before the game gets lighter, so I think I actually need to move it a bit more to the right, maybe like that. That seems more like it. It seems to get lighter and lighter at the same time. And I go back a bit again. Yes. that's it for that. Then they are aligned. And then step 7 and 8 is about, or those steps are about the volume of the videos, but I actually tend to find the spot where I need to. Hello and welcome back to our playthrough of Horizon Forbidden West. Hello and welcome back to our playthrough of Horizon Forbidden West. I want to cut away the beginning of the intro. I smile into the camera and then I state I say this regular thing that I do when I do gaming videos. Hello. Oh, don't want it to come too quickly, but not too slowly either. Hello, hello, and I think that's fine. So I will cut this, and then I press Control and A, then it marks everything, and then I can just drag the bottom one. I don't know if you can tell, but this track down here where the gaming video is has a darker background than the other tracks. So I actually found out not that long ago that I can mark everything and then move everything by dragging the lower one, this on the master track or whatever it's called. If I drag the upper one, then it will move independently of the other, but I want them to go to the beginning. There. Hello. And hello. I think that's fine. So now I will work with the volume. I tend to take this on the facecam video and set that to 120%. And because the volume in the game is so loud, I usually set that to 75. There we go. Because if I wore a microphone, then the sound from my voice would be recorded at a higher volume than when I'm speaking to the phone that's a bit farther away. But that's the levels that I think suit these gaming videos. But yes, the volume 120 and 75. And then step 9 is, according to my document, that I have to cut away the surplus at the beginning, but I did that before. So now I have to cut away at the end, and that's after my sign off. So instead of scrolling or something like that, I can just click here, go to the next clip, then it will take me to the end of the first one that ends. And here I can say, I say something here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. And then I wait a little while. Thank you for watching. I'll just cut here and then delete this. And then back to the beginning. Then the next step is to split the intro from the rest. So I'm zoomed in quite a lot when this playthrough is through. However, but let's go into the game. And then it's around here when I say let's go into the game, and I press on the controller that I tend to switch. I cut somewhere here, and then the movie clips can switch places. Go into the game. Let's say here, and then mark both of them and then split. And I also have to split the outro from the rest. Maybe it's somewhere around here. It seems like a long outro this time. I'm not sure whether I have to make it a part of the main session of the game or if I should include something in the outro, but I think that this is an example of a long outro. It varies sometimes how much I say in the intros and in the outros, but this outro is a bit long. I kind of sum up what I did in the episode and what I will do in the next one. I like to make the switch to the outro when I'm at or get close to the fireplace where I'm going to save the game. But I think I will cut here. Yes, and then what I like to do, because I talk in the intro and the outro and the game isn't in focus, I like to turn the volume down for the intro and outro to 60%. There we go. And then for the next step, I have to add, I haven't found any other or better way to do this, so I like to press up here, click here and add video track. And then what I have to do is drag the bottom one up and take this and move it down. And I have to do the same thing for the outro. Up with that, and down again. And then I like to zoom out and then scroll to see. There shouldn't be anything, but I like to make sure that there isn't anything in the track that should be empty before I delete it. Yes, and then that's gone again. The intro and outro videos have changed places, but that's necessary because I'm going to do something later that requires that one thing is on top of the other. But we'll get to that. And then the next step is position. And I have made a note for myself in the document that says it's important to do this before I split the footage any further. So what I do here is that I right click on the gaming video and here pick tools and applied effects, and then click on the X to remove the effect. Then it fills up the entire screen behind the face cam footage. And then I have to pick the face cam and pick tools and then position, and that should be overlap. And then I can work some more with that. And then the next step is to crop and move it. So I like to do this. It's not always perfectly square when I do this, but somewhere, I sit in a different spot than I usually do. I can usually go over to, so it's like that. Or actually that's fine. I use the plastic flower behind me as an indicator of where I have to move the edge of the screen or the image to. So it's approximately a square, and then I can shrink it down and then place it over my head, maybe like that. And when I click apply and then switch to something else, it will take up the entire screen, but I have to then go to position here and then shrink it down again. And that's also roughly a third of the height of the screen. So I put it over here. It's always to the right and in the middle. And then I want to make sure that it's better that it goes a bit over the line than there's a sliver of the gaming footage behind the facecam video. So find the middle with the green line as a help, a guiding thingy that I can use there. Maybe that's fine. And then the next step, it says drag the red marker or player back and forth to check if my head stays in the cropped video. So I like to move to lean forward and back, and I also tend to lean to the side sometimes, even though that doesn't change anything. I can't see around corners just by leaning to the side, because what's on the screen is the same thing no matter what. But I tend to move a bit or a lot when I play, and so I have to kind of do like this, drag it back and forth. I lean forward a bit extra because I'm because I'm looking at these papers. I think that's actually something I will cut out of the video, because I don't think it will be interesting for people to watch me find out which items I can sell and then try and sell them. I give up on that. So I think that's something I'm going to have to zoom in on and then find places to cut, so I can take it out of the video. But I'll get to that later. I tend to not mess things up or skip steps in the process to make sure that I don't miss anything. I hope I don't miss anything. But yes, drag the marker back and forth. I'm not too concerned with how I lean forward when I'm looking at. I just showed them, showed the papers there. When I lean forward, if or when I'm going to take that out of the video. It looks fine. As you can see, I move, but I also drag this across, so it's sped up. Maybe I can zoom out a bit more. And then I left. Paused the game and then came back. But I like to, when I spot something that I know I'm going to take out of the video, I like to find a place. Then I'm going to zoom in again. I tend to press on the controller so it's on this pause screen, so I don't risk Aloy getting killed while I'm doing something else. I have tried to, or I have experienced going away from the computer or looking at something, and then whoa, then the game just continued, and then I wasn't prepared for that. But I tend to pause the game and then get back in my chair, and then I will signal to myself by looking up and then smiling and then looking back on the screen when I'm ready to play again, and then I know that's where I can cut the video and take the pause out of it. But let's see here. That's a good place to take it out, I think. Cut here. There we go. Then here, when I'm back, on with the headphones. And then I look in the camera and then on pause. This place is as good as any, or it's one of the better. It's a good choice to cut here, so I'll write that. Yes, and then zoom out again. I'm sitting in a slightly more pushed back position after I had my break, so I might need to recrop or not. When I go away and come back, I might sit more to one side or the other, or more closer to the computer or farther away, so I might need to recrop the video, and that's why it's important to check if my face is in the square before I cut up the video clips in smaller parts. The first part is okay, my face is, or my head is kind of in the middle, but then I move. I think it's all right. Okay, and then the next step is to find and cut out clips of frames where I sneeze or cough. And the tip is that if there's a loud or sudden, it doesn't need to be sudden, but if there's a loud sound suddenly, then the audio track will have spikes in them. But thankfully I don't have a cold at the moment, and so I don't need to cut out sneezes or coughs. Sometimes if I spot something that spikes in the audio, then I might go in and then tweak it and then lower the audio level for that part of the video, because sometimes if I exclaim, it might be a little louder than when I speak regularly. But I can scroll through here. Maybe there's something here. That's a little loud, so I can go in here also just to show you how I do that, and then I can add a volume point. I need to have at least 4, because there have to be set points and then something else that I can move. But you can see it in a moment here. Add volume point more, and then zoom in a bit, and then also here and here, I think. And then I can take this and then drag it down slightly, 75%. Play it back. Maybe it's a bit too loud still, and so I can drag it a bit farther down. I'm not quite sure what I say in that clip, but maybe that level is better. I think I say something like there are many machines to fight now, or that are fighting me now, or something. But yes, I can see if there are any other that stand out to me. Something here. I wasn't expecting something. I just add a volume point there and one there. And then for this, pull it down a bit, 75. Maybe a bit more. 62. It's not always that easy to find just the exact level, volume level that you want, so it's approximate. If I think about 70% or about 50% or something, then I can just drag until it kind of lands in that ballpark. But yes, whoops. That reminds me, make sure to save your project regularly. And then this is HFV episode 61. And then while I work, I tend to just press Control and S, and then it saves. I do that a lot when I write as well. Control S, Control S, Control S, because I'm afraid that something will go wrong and my progress will be lost. But yes, onward. I hope there aren't any other volume spikes. Maybe here. This seems quite dangerous. This seems quite dangerous. That's not too bad, I think. That's okay as well. Okay, Control S, even though I don't think I changed anything, but yes, that's one thing I do if I spot it. The next step is find and cut out breaks and maybe slow parts where I don't know where to go, for example. So I tend to leave in as much as possible, but if I start to feel like, oh, if I was watching this, if this had already been recorded and I was watching it, then I might not want to watch that part of the game or the gaming session, and then I remove that. But as I said, I do something in the beginning where I think that I will cut that out. I go up to the hunter merchant. He's my favorite person in pizza, I think. I have stuff I can sell. Resources. I think it's fine that I leave in this because it's a nice regular thing that I do, and it only takes a few seconds. I also made a list with the I made an entire Excel sheet, and there are lots of columns between the ones with color and the ones I talk. Then I have that document and I printed it out, but then I added something after I printed it, and then I didn't really know quite what to sell, so I ended up selling the items that I knew I needed 0 of. There are a lot of resources, or were a lot of resources in the game that I needed to keep some of, but could sell some of, and I couldn't really I didn't really know the exact number for those items, and so I just only sold off other things. Or actually I I give up on this, as I say later, and then I did that off camera earlier today. I think it's fine if I cut here. I talk a bit about my document that I printed out, but the Excel document I have on my computer as well. But if I cut there, then I might take it out entirely, or I can find the spot where I say I'm going to do it off camera. Don't think I have any of those. Oh, never mind. I'm going to do this later instead, and don't think I have any of those. Okay, I know I want to take this out at least. And now that I have split it, I can hover my mouse over, and then I'll see how long that section is. And it's 3 minutes and 44 seconds. So that's probably a bit too long, so I will mark that, and then boom, that's gone. And then because there's space here, I can just mark everything and move that, because it won't get rid of the space between the videos. So I mark like that, right click and drag to mark, and then I can drag it over here, and then that thing is gone. But because if you view it now, don't think I have any of those. The shift is quite sudden. if there's a sudden break in the video, then I will do this. I will mark them and then go up here to transitions, and then I have a few favorites that I tend to use in both gaming and writing videos. Oh, that's right, I need to only mark one or two. I'm not at the other step yet, but yes, I tend to use this horizontal split. And then let's look how that looks. So I will sell those. Don't think I have any of those. Oh, never mind. I think I'm actually going to split here instead. And then mark, and then cut, delete that, and then mark it again and move it up to the other section. There we go. And then because I removed the second videos in that transition, I need to reapply the transition because there's only a transition on these clips. I can show you. Black screen. So I want to do it like that. I will sell those. Oh, never mind. 1.5 minutes approximately. That's all right. I trade with the hunter regularly, and then I start talking about that document or that print I had made, and then the transition is to to something else. So I think that's fine. And I marked this break over here earlier. Then I can just right click on the marker I put, and then hold down Control and then right click, or left click is it, on the bottom video, and then split, and then do the same for this. Click on the marker, hold down Control, click on that, and then cut. So the break is almost 8.5 minutes. So that is going to make the video shorter, but that's okay. The video doesn't always have to go up closer to 3 hours as they have done in the previous gaming videos. But yes, mark that, delete, and mark that and delete. And then move this over. There we go. Then I have taken out the parts. If I just play and then hit pause and then go away and then come back and press unpause, I normally don't put a transition in. So it's just, you can see, I just pause and then it's briefly like that, and then I might switch, or my hair might be different or something, and then I just continue playing. But I think this is fine. There doesn't need to be a transition there. Save again, and then the next step is make sure that all clips are back to back. So well, I found that working with this program can be a bit finicky, because something, I don't know what, but something might influence the video clips. So if you think that you have put them completely next to each other, there might be a few frames of nothing in between. But in order to steer clear of that, I tend to go to the far right or the far left, and then click this, go to the previous clip, or the other way. But I tend to do it like this. That's fine, I think. That's fine. Fine. And then I'm at the beginning. If if they weren't completely back to back, then I could click once and then click again, but the marker wouldn't move. And that's because it would be at the end of one video clip and at the beginning of the next. And if you are zoomed out a lot or just a bit, then you might not be able to spot that there's a slight gap between video clips. So that's just something I like to do. And then changes to intro, remove the applied effect from the facecam video. Okay, the intro here, applied effects, and then move. That is the reverse of what I did for the main part of the game. And then here, the gaming footage has to be overlapped. And I don't crop that, I just shrink it down like this. I like to have it between my shoulder and my head somewhere. And then move it down like that. Then that's centered. And the next step, I have to do the same thing for the outro here. And then I have to go up to applied effects and remove that up here. I just right click to get the menu up and then tools and then position for that and switch it to overlap. And then shrink that down as well and move it down. So far so good. And I save again. And then I have a reminder in the document that I have to remember to turn down the volume for the gaming footage. But I'm pretty sure that I did that, but I'm just checking. Yes, it's on 60%. And that's 60 as well. I have it in two places. Maybe that's not necessary because I usually do it in the very beginning of the editing process, but it might it might be something I miss, and then it's nice to have the reminder. But maybe it's not the worst thing that could happen if I forget to turn down the volume for the intro and the outro. But yes, so far so good. And then the next step is to add transitions between the intro and the main part of the video. And I also like to use a few specific ones. So for the gaming video, I just left click and then up on transitions here, and I have picked my favorites already. And because the gaming video is far to the right, I want that to switch over to the left. So I use this one. And for the facecam video, I want that to switch the other side. So I choose this. There we go. And I can just see how it looks. But let's go into the game. That's all right, I think. I can just check it again. But let's go into the game. I like that it switches when there's this sound of me pressing on the controller. I heard someone in a YouTube video say that it's a good thing if you cut when there's motion instead of sitting still. I think it's more fluid if there's motion, then it leads into another clip. But I think that's fine. Let's go into the game. And then over to the side, yes. And then the next step is add transitions between clips within the main part of the video, if necessary. I will only add a transition between clips within the main part of the video if there's a significant difference, like I talked about before. If I cut something out and I'm in one place, or the character is in one place, and then when the gaming is on again, then she's in some other place, then I make that transition with the horizontal split. But if I just pause to take a break and then come back, then no break is fine, or no transition is fine in that case. And then add transitions between the main part of the video and the outro. And then I go all the way to the end, and then that's reverse now. Then the gaming video has to go over to the left, so I choose that one, and the game has to go over to the right. So we can just look how it looks. I didn't quite get to do the things I set out to do in this episode. I wanted to do the side quests. I wanted to do the side quest, and I did that. But I also wanted to do the relic. I usually don't cut out small parts of a video if I just mumble, or not mumble, if I say something and then want to correct myself. I do that a lot with writing videos, but in gaming, especially when I talk while I play, there's no room to cut out things when I slip up or say something wrong. I have to correct myself on the fly and just keep on playing, because it's the gaming session, that's how it is, and then it's real and it's honest and my reactions are real, and so I want to reflect that, instead of just checking out things if I say something wrong and then have all of these cuts in the video. But yes, I tend to leave the intro and the outro alone, even if I say something wrong or repeat myself a bit. I hope it's okay, because now that I have in this project, I have paused the game, then the background music doesn't play. But if I speak while I'm about to end the video, then there's sounds, people are talking in the game and things are going on, and so I don't want to just cut out things because I say something wrong. So yes, I have made transitions for the main part and then to the outro, and then the next step is to add transitions to the end of the outro. So I just pick both. I click on the top one and then the bottom one. The order is not important, but I click to mark them, and then I go up to my favorite transitions and then choose fade to black. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching, and then I wave. That's my signature sign off. I've worked on it over several months now, and I think and I hope that I say approximately the same thing for the intro and the outro by now. But I might slip up. Sometimes I forget to say which episode number it is or something like that. But I hope you manage. But yes, that's basically it. That's how I do gaming video editing. And then the only thing that's left is, besides making sure to save as I just did, is to export. And then I click here. I don't know why, but it always goes back to good quality, and then I manually have to put it on high quality every time, and it's already in the right folder. I have the title. I don't change the title when I export it. Some people say that it's better to change the title of a video to what the title on YouTube will be, for example, so they match, so that the title of the YouTube video and the file itself correspond, but I don't do that. Maybe I should do that, but I don't. But yes, HFW, Horizon Forbidden West, _episode _ and then the episode number, so I have the same structure for naming my files. And then the right folder, and then færdig video. It's the subfolder with completed videos. Then it's just a question of clicking start. And then it has started the export process. But yes, that's basically how I you can probably hear it now. My computer is making a bit more noise because it has to work on picking out sections of the videos and then combine these two different videos into one, as I have made in this project. But yes, that's how I edit gaming videos. I hope you enjoyed this peek into my working process. My process might change a bit if or when I play other video games, but I hope that you can use this process that I have gone through as a starting point for when you are going to edit your own videos. And I also hope that you can use this guide even though you use another video editing program than what I use. Many of the steps in the process are the same no matter which editing software you use, I guess. But yes, that's how I edit gaming videos. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you will watch other of my videos. See you next time. Take care.